John 5:39. And we sit back and we just have to sit back, man. I sit back and look on my whole life, man. I know that everything that occurred to me in my life was to set me up for the exact moment that I'm in right now. So I'll tell you, man, a lot of this stuff, because I ain't had conversations with y'all about a lot of this stuff before. I've had with others. See, I used to just sit back. This man would just bring to mind a lot of the situations and circumstances that I encountered in my life to show me this here. Like I was telling y'all earlier before we started, like, I've known Langston, man, about 20 years. I never once looked or viewed myself in the fashion. But like he's saying, like, man, I remember you powerful, man, people listening. I remember my homeboy Choke, man, told me one day, he was like, yeah, man, that's why we listen to you. Because this, that, that. And I was just shocked. Because I didn't look at myself like that. Nor was I desiring that. You know what I'm talking about? So then I sit back and look at it. The only way I could have had a mind to have even that level of humility is God had to give it to me. Because I didn't look at myself like that. You know what I'm saying? There was never no thought process of I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be seen, I want to be known, none of that. I just want to feed my people, man. And nigga didn't want no name. Nigga didn't want no fame. You know what I'm saying? When you want that name and you want that image and you want that fame and you want that notoriety, that's just trying to fill a void that you got in your heart somewhat, that you're not complete. And you think that the validation of other people will make you complete. John 5:39, and the Lord finna tell you that now. Search the scriptures, for in them you think ye have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of God in you. I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can ye believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that comes from God only? That's what some of y'all problem is. That's what I mean by image. You want to be seen as being godly because you want this member to say, yeah, man, such and such, that's a righteous brother. Oh, such and such, that's a virtuous woman. You don't want the honor that comes from God only. That means you really just incomplete. See, I want y'all to look at something in John chapter 12. Then we're going to look at something in 2 Timothy before we actually deal with the task at hand on some of the things that we got to look at this evening, if the Lord see fit. I thank the Lord. You know, y'all all right? Praise the Lord. Y'all all right? I feel all right. I'm a little warm, but I'll be better. Verse 39 of the 12th chapter of the book of John. Listen what John said. Therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he had blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. Like I was telling y'all, see, when the Lord would come and showing them the error of their way, because, you know, he said the world can't hate you. It's me that hate, because I testify of it, that of these are evil. When he said your eyes are shut and your heart's hard, that you can't understand, that's what I mean. When somebody comes to show you something, to actually help you out. Like I was mentioning you earlier, a nigga can see everything that's wrong with everybody else, but you can't see what's wrong with you, though. You know what I'm talking about? So your eyes are shut, and God done harden your heart, so he can't convert you and heal you, because you set up for destruction. And you know usually what happens with somebody who can see what's wrong with everybody else, but they can't see what's wrong with them. See, they won't praise a man. You know what I'm talking about? They want somebody to tell them how great they is. See, I can help you out. Nigga say, how you gonna give me advice? Your life out of control. I know your life out of control. You know what I'm talking about? Like, nigga, this is the thing that used to kill me. A nigga whose life out of control. It's one thing if you telling that somebody who don't know you, but then you looking like, nigga, I know you though. Like, I know the real you. Like, I know what's really going on with you. And you coming at me like, nigga, run that game with them niggas around there who don't see what you doing. Because, see, that's insulting to a nigga. Nigga, you gonna try me like these people, like these people you trying to craft an image to. But you know I know. You know how many times I done said something, nigga been done saying something, man. I be like, nigga, I know you. I mean, my homegirl did that. She was posted about something Long time ago, this about 3-4 years ago. I say, nigga, I never thought I heard you say that. She went on some spiel. I say, nigga, I know you. You know, she ain't say now word back. Now word back. I said, I don't know who you trying to fool, nigga. You can fool them niggas. You not finna fool me, nigga. I know you. It don't matter if I ain't seen you in a minute, nigga. I know you. You ain't changed much. Couldn't fool somebody else with that nonsense. These things said Isaiah when he saw his glory. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue, for they love the praise of men more than the praise of God. That's what some of y'all problem is. You ain't never gonna get right with that type of mind. What you think? Keep on wanting the praise of man, because the Lord just told you ain't no way you can believe seeking honor from a man. He said, why you don't seek the honor that comes from God only? That goes right back to what I was talking to y'all about. I don't care what a nigga think about me. Just like the other thing, nigga talking about, niggas say, oh, y'all in the cult. He this, he that. Somebody told Mouse, are you finna go marry your pastor? You know, your nigga, I don't care what none of them people say about me. Truth be told, you ain't got to come tell me what damn nigga say about me. I really don't care. It's not going to affect nor change. I got work to do, man. The word got to be preached. You think I care what that nigga think about me, got to say about me? I don't care. Truth be told, I don't care what none of you niggas say about me. I don't care what none of you niggas think about me. Because guess what I'm going to keep doing? I'm going to keep standing on God's word. I'm going to keep preaching God's word. Because my soul got to be saved. I don't care what none of you niggas got to say about me. I don't care if you don't like, if I said something to you, if I corrected you, if I clowned you, if I shamed you. I don't care what you say. You can mumble on your breath just like you used to do your parent. But you ain't going to say nothing too loud because the Lord going to hear you. He going to crack your dome. 2 Timothy chapter 3. I don't care nothing about it. See, when you can get, all I care about is God love me. That God going to accept me. You know what I'm talking about? That's all I care about. I don't care about nothing else. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure, ain't none of you niggas carrying me to hell with you. You gonna take that trip by yourself. I done told y'all before, man. Some of y'all gonna be the reason you go to hell. It ain't gonna be your kids trying to compromise the word to please them. It ain't gonna be your spouse. It's not going to be your job. It's not going to be your family. It's not going to be your friends. It's going to be because you are no good, rotten bastard. You hate correction. You hate obedience. You halfway do stuff. You a flim-flammer. You a schemer. You a liar. You a hypocrite. You a pretender. You're going to be the problem. Just be real for once in your life. Obviously, the man wants y'all to get right because the last couple of weeks he's been telling you to get real, be 100 with yourself. Just be real. Stop playing. Stop pretending. 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last day perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. See, that's when you want that image. Because see, you love your own self so much, you want to craft the image of yourself so other people can tell you how great you are. Oh, they got it all together. Boy, that brother got it together. You know what I'm talking about? And you see a lot of people you think got it together, they so evil. And guess what they end up doing, boy? What you think they end up doing? Quitting. The same people y'all be looking at, be thinking they so righteous, they got it all together. Man, them niggas be ready to quit. The people you think ain't got it together, who won't do all that talking, man, all they doing is they just hearing the word, they take their correction, they weigh it, they consider it, they make the necessary adjustment, and they say, I gotta keep on pushing, I gotta keep on standing. You know what I'm talking about? Say, I gotta tighten my belt up, I'm losing some weight, gotta tighten up, my pants ain't staying on, I gotta tighten the belt loose. Just another notch. Because it's getting better for me. Because I got to make it. You know, we used to have a saying, man, it's really an old saying. The loudest person in the room, usually the weakest. Nigga who always got to tell you this and tell you that, nigga ain't doing that. Y'all know that. How you always feel if a nigga came and just out of, nigga, I'm a real nigga. Probably you're not. You're probably not. Because you wouldn't have to tell me that. It would show. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good woman. If you got to tell me you're a good woman, you probably not. Because if you was, it would show. You wouldn't have to tell me. You got to come tell me or convince me. Like I'm talking about, like really try to convince me that you something. You're not that person. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unkodesh, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. See, he said to lead people. I'm going to show you an example of somebody who was high-minded. And also we're going to look at something else about being high-minded. And but see, that's the thing you want to be careful on. You want to have a form of godliness. You want somebody to look at you like you godly, but you actually denying the power. You denying the word because you really don't want to do that. You just want to look it because you want honor from men. Look at it. 2 Chronicles chapter 25. Show you somebody who will high-minded. See, and you know the thing is, right? See, the Lord might do a couple things on your behalf, right? It might be 1 Chronicles 25. The Lord might do some things on your behalf, right? And you go to thinking, yeah, man, God with me. God with me. I'm sorry. I just was looking at this the other day. And it's not in Chronicles. Just was looking at this the other day. Make sure we get this real right. Because I had this directly in mind. Ooh, whoa, can I get a fan, please? Do you mind? Oh. Hey, man, if it could go about a little faster, it might make something happen. Hold on, y'all. That ain't what I wanted. I just was looking at this the other day. Well, we finna look at King Uzziah, man. It was something that happened with King Uzziah that y'all need to see. Because, see, King Uzziah got high-minded. You know what that means to get high-minded, y'all? Huh? You know why you get cocky? You go to feeling yourself. Because you be like, you know, God with me. You know, God did this for me, and God did that for me. And I'm doing this here, and I'm doing that there. Even when you serving and obeying God, because King Uzziah did that for a season. You can't never get to the point where you feel like you uplifted in your heart and you go to getting grief. Because the man going to bring you down. And he going to put you in a position, in a situation, a circumstance where you can actually walk 2 Chronicles 26. He puts you in a situation, a circumstance where he can show what's in your heart. You know how many times God done put some of y'all in a situation, a circumstance so you can see what, so he can show you what was in your heart, and you niggas missed it. Now what you think that is? 2 Chronicles chapter 26. I was right the first time. I was off a chapter though. We go ahead and look at about verse 3. Let's show you this is somebody who was high-minded. Got lifted up in their heart. 16 years old, I appreciate that. 16 years old was Uzziah when he began to reign. And he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Jecoliah of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of Yah, according to all that his father Amaziah did. So Uzziah obeyed. And he sought God in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of God. As long as he sought Yah, God made him to prosper. That's just what we were talking about the other day. See, y'all don't seek God, that's why you don't prosper. See, you think you seeking God because you show up every Wednesday and you show up every Sabbath, but you're not seeking it, man. You know, he say he's a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So if you were seeking him, you would be seeking his righteousness, which means you would be seeking to do the things to please your husband, because your desire will be to him. But see, y'all desire is to yourself because you please as a man, please as a self, more than please as a God. Lord, bring it right back around to you. Why don't you stop pleasing yourself all the time? How about you learn to please God? Before I proceed, I'm going to tell y'all something, and I've probably told y'all this before. I thank the Lord that March 15, 1991 occurred. Because that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because that's when I began to learn about a simple concept. And that simple concept is called self-sacrifice. The concept of putting somebody else's needs before your own. You know what I'm talking about? See, some of y'all problem is you can't think about nobody but yourself. And you know the worst nigga in the world is a nigga who always think about themselves but try to feign like they care about other people or put other people first. And they sit back and show, nigga, you only doing that stuff for yourself. Nigga, nobody don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. try to fake like they sacrificing for somebody. I remember somebody said, yeah, I left my kids, girl I know, because somebody's called her out for it. She was somewhere. I think she was in Orlando, and her kids was in Baltimore. And they say, where your kids at? I ain't just here. Oh, they in Baltimore. I'm trying to get my business started. Nigga say, you left your kids though? See, I'm sacrificing for them. That nigga say, you ain't sacrificing for them children, nigga. And she was stuck. She was hot. You know what she ended up doing? About 2 weeks later, she went and got her kids. So that let it be known she fought and kicked, and this was her cousin who said it to her. She fought and kicked with the nigga for saying it to her, but she knew it was right because she went and got them children. But you tried to make it seem like, oh, see, I'm trying to do the leg work to get this started and that started because I'm trying to do this for my kid. Nigga, you doing that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sitting back, I'm dying laughing. I was going to say something, but I say no because I don't want to talk to this nigga. And her cousin got her. Looking sick. You know what I'm saying? Looking sick. Nigga, all you know that nigga, you clubbing every night, nigga. Cause this nigga ain't in the words, you know what I'm talking about? So you clubbing every nigga, you living the dream, nigga. You ain't got none of your kids. You got 3 of them, you ain't got none of them. Talking about I need a break. Yeah, I need a break. You need to break a stick upside your head. Verse 6. And he went forth and warred against the Philistines and brake down the wall of Gath and the wall of Jabneh and the wall of Ashdod and built cities about Ashdod and among the Philistines. And God helped him among the Philistines and against the Arabians that dwelt in Gabal and the Meunims. And the Ammonites gave gift to Uzziah, and his name spread abroad even to the entering in of Egypt, for he strengthened himself exceedingly. I want y'all to look at something about his name spread abroad. Come over here to Matthew chapter 4, I want to say. So I'm tell y'all something, man. Ain't no sense of Matthew chapter 4, about verse 21. Actually, about 23. Now look what he said. Now he said they gave gifts to Uzziah. He said his name spread. Now we're going to look at the Ammonites giving gifts to Uzziah. The father gave gifts to Yahshua. And all those gifts that he gave to Yahshua, his name spread. Let's see how. He's saying Yahshua went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria. And they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with diverse diseases and tormented, those which were possessed with devils, those which were lunatic, those that had the palsy, and he healed them. And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee and from Decapolis and from Jerusalem and from Judea and from beyond Jordan. I said that man's name spread. Because you just sat back and looked at his name spread abroad even in the entering of Egypt. If you sit back and go look at Syria right near Egypt, I bet y'all ain't know that thing. I'm going to tell you something, man. This man had gifts. He gave them to the people. And his name spread. The Ammonites gave gift to King Uzziah, and his name spread. I want y'all to look at whole 2 Chronicles 26. Come over here to Proverbs chapter 3. Something come to my mind. I'll tell you something, man. I thank the Lord for salvation. I just thank the Lord for the word. You know what I'm saying? Because Proverbs 3 and 1. I'm talking about, cause man, I sit back, I look on my life, man, and a lot of thought processes, a lot of stuff I had, man, that stuff came from the Lord, man. It's just a lot of stuff I don't go for, man. I don't go for. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up and down. And I thank Lord for my sister, man. Ain't no telling where my mind could have been, what type of process I would have had, man. You sit back, man, you look at somebody else, you looking at, man, I'm 10 years old now, and all I'm thinking about looking at is, this little girl depend on me. I ain't know how she was going to depend on me, but I already know she going to depend on me. Because if mama ain't here, I got to feed her. Mama ain't here, I got to bathe her. Mama ain't here, I got to change her diaper. And I don't mind. Mama wasn't here, I ain't mind teaching my sister how to read, teach her the alphabet. You know what I'm saying? I'm 12, 13 years old. I wanted to do it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you something, man. You know, most men don't have that stuff, man. I know me. Boy, I love church. I can spend a whole day when I get churning old stubborn hard-headed niggas. I'm going to send a bike to you because you better get these niggas before I kill them. You know what I'm talking about? But I don't mind spending time with her, man. I told y'all before, man, girl thought she was finna have my baby. I told her, man, you can give me my baby, man. And you can dip. I don't care. I'll take care of nigga. I don't care. I'm gonna do whatever about mine. You got my flesh and blood in you? And whatever, man. Me going to prison, only thing bothering me going to prison was being separated from my sister. Man, if I'd have been the only child, man, that wouldn't even bother me, man. I'd have did that, man, that ain't even bother. That's the only thing bothered me. That's the only thing bothered me. I wasn't there for 4.5 years. That bothered me. The fact that my sister had to see me in shackles and stand before a judge, and so I don't go to prison. And you know what my sister told that judge? The muffin told Judge last day, she said, don't send my brother to prison because that's my brother. I couldn't do nothing but shed a tear. Say you got to shed a gangster tear. You just let one drop. So you don't let it come out of both eyes. You just let one drop. Like my man, like Fat Boy Daddy said, you said a wolf tear. Say just one right here in the corner. So you can't let them trickle down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This was a strong black nigga who was caught.
Yeah.
Right? Nigga started to cry because the sad moment came up.
Yeah.
You looked at that, he said, you get back in there.
You get back in there. Jump back. I remember I seen that there. You get back in there. Oh, for real though, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sitting back looking at my sister deprived of me because of my actions. You know what I'm talking about? She need me. Even though what I was doing was to help take care of her, that wasn't worth it. It was still, even though it might have did this for a while, it was still selfish on my end because it deprived her of me. And I was more important than the money that was being made. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that. So that's going to bother me. See, I wasn't no nigga just was not cognizant of the effects of what I was doing can have on others. See, some of y'all do stuff, y'all don't sit back. Y'all don't think about other people. You're just inconsiderate. You just think about yourself, and you just do it on the fly. You don't never sit back and think how they're going to affect somebody else. I'm telling you, that's a horrible trait in anybody. I'm going to tell you, man, all traits are bad, but it seems to always be worse in a woman because men have a particular viewpoint of what they expect a woman to be. And when a man sees negative traits in a woman, it just seems to be magnified because it just seems disgusting. You know what I'm talking about? He see it in a man, he be like, man, this old sucker nigga here, man. You see it in a woman, you just be appalled. That stuff make you scrunch your face up like you just smell something stank. You know what I'm talking about? You can see a selfish man, it won't bother you. It'll bother you, you know what I'm talking about? But it won't. You see a selfish woman, you be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, for real, man. Oh, for real, man. It just make you mad. It's like, it's like that. I'll slap somebody right now. Come here. I can't slap this woman, but slap you. Man, y'all, I'm telling you, man, I'm talking about, man, niggas be walking around here, man, you see them chicks, man, they got them fake lashes, hair be done, child look busted up. Niggas say you stay fresh, all this here, child busted up. Niggas say it's supposed to be the other way around. That's why I'm saying what I told you too, man. Don't get caught up buying them kids a whole bunch of stuff either, because them kids don't remember none of that stuff, man. Actually show them you love them. Just don't buy them stuff and think that don't be trying to buy your kids off. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't know which white folks he's around here trying to buy your kids off. Then you had them little kid fall out in the middle of the floor like this here. Stop it, Jimmy! Like this here, Mom, I want it! And you just get in and you buy it. Next thing you know, Jimmy got a gun to your head. Mom, just give me all your money because I need some drugs. No problems. Just give me the money out the purse. That's how it happened. My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandment. And don't get me wrong, because niggas do it too. Niggas be doing their kids like that too. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table of thy heart, so thou shalt find favor with God, favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. See, y'all don't hang this man word about your neck. You don't write this stuff on your heart. That's why you don't get good favor and understanding in the sight of God and man. That's why y'all don't get it. See, Luke chapter 2. So I thank the Lord, man. I had just went and hollered at my watchman about how much he would charge me to put this leather strap on my watch where the band kept breaking. Just when it hollered at me the last week or the week before. About verse 45, 44. Matter of fact, make it 46. Luke 2 and 46. And he told me he'll charge me $16. And when I slid up in there this afternoon, man, he ain't charged me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I say, man, thank the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I just be coming up on stuff, man. It just be people out of the blue, man. One day I come from working out, man, stop at Arby's, man, get me a roast turkey and Swiss sandwich. You know, they system down. They ain't with tripping. I already know how much the sandwich cost. $5.34. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna slide in there, cop the sandwich. Dude just like, man, she done took your order. I'm like, yeah. He said, how much it is? I said, it's $5.34. You know what I'm saying? I already got the money to give, bro. Bro, just say, man, just take it and go. I say, thank the Lord. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? He said, just take the sandwich, man. You can have it, man. System messed up, man. We don't know how long it's going to take. Man, you'll run across, man, when you actually serving God, man, and you seek him and his word written in your heart, man, he'll just tell people, man, people do all type of stuff for you, man. The man told you in 1 Kings chapter 8, man, he'll cause those who take you captive to have compassion on me. You'll be surprised if you actually seek God and be obedient. What type of stuff he can do for you. It's a light matter. The man can do anything. He don't do nothing for you because you niggas are evil. You feel like you want to do just enough so you can get what you want. But he's not going to give you what you want. He's going to crack your whole dome loose. There goes Lizzie. Lizzie says she's trying to skip walking, just go straight to running. Trying to keep up with Leah. Say, ain't running, I'm walking, I'm running. So ain't it though? No, they got the same blood. Luke 2 and 46. That just tripped me out coming here today. Nigga, Lizzie is running. Nigga say you really just was getting the hang of two-stepping just 2-3 days ago. This nigga done went straight off the running. Straight off the running. No, I'll tell you, Leah called did something that looked like a scoop. Leah went straight from school crawling. I'm trying to walk. If you can only understand what I'm talking about if you saw her. Because Leah, like, literally just skipped crawling and went straight to walking. You know what I'm saying? Lizzie crawled for a little minute, and then she did a little walk around, you know, grabbing stuff and walk around like that. And then when she got the confidence to stand up and walk herself. But now, seeing Leah run all the time, because Leah love to run. This is like, I got to keep up, nigga. Lizzie in here running. And it's crazy because she might not have a high rate of speed, but she got it though. She be going, she might stumble and fall for a second. She will get back up, go right back to running, chasing after her sister. That stuff was great. Because this nigga was literally running in the kitchen. I said, nigga, you really just started walking 2 days ago.
Straight up, literally.
Like literally just started really walking Tuesday. This nigga is running. And when she crawls, she'll have a crawl, man. That thing goes 0 to 60 in about a half a second. Y'all have to see it, man. I might have to record it. You know what I'm saying? You have to see it. She go hit that crawl, but I didn't go to move. But that's why I like being. You see, I like that stuff. You just sit back and watch them. Let them turn be tripping. I like to watch them interact with one another. Because Kingston and Leah was in here the other day, man. Them niggas had me tripping. They were going home. You couldn't even talk. If you ain't know no better, you thought they'd came out the same womb. How they were rolling. He's saying it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the darkness, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. Now why would they be astonished at his understanding and answers unless he had bound the word around his neck and hid it in his heart? And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. And he said unto them, how is it that you sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business? And then we just read in Proverbs chapter 3, he told him, my son. Hold on, let me get back there where he said it at. We still holding 2 Chronicles chapter 26. We got some other stuff to look at, but the Lord wants to show y'all something. This man just told his son, don't forget my law and let his heart keep a commandment. And that's just what the man did. He said, I'm about my father's business. So since I'm about my father's business, I got to do what he say. See, ain't some of y'all, you ain't about your father's business. You about your own business. You about nigga business. You ain't about you business. You ain't about Codex business. You about nigga business. Nigga business is I do what I want when I want because I'm a nigga. A Jew say I'm about what y'all say to be about. What I want to do is inconsequential. I just was talking to a young man, and he asked me, he was like, man, this, that, and the other. I say, man, it's got to come down to, man, what you want to do. It don't matter. It don't matter. Man, I used to talk to this girl, man, and she'll be like this, and I used to tell her, it don't matter what I want to do. My desire is to please God. So whatever God wants me to do, that's what I want to do. That's my desire. See, y'all don't have that type of process. That's the mind Yahshua had. That's the mind David had. What's pleasing to y'all, that's what I want to do. So y'all don't have that mind. That's why you can't get right. Because what y'all want you to do, that ain't what you want to do. You want to do what you want to do, and then you want to try to look up and say, I please God. You just like King Saul. Just like King Saul. Verse 50. And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them. And he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject unto them. But his mother kept all the sayings in her heart. In her heart. And Yahshua increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Just like Proverbs told you. And who else would tell you that they would prevail with God and man? Who else got that testimony? Jacob. Jacob got that testimony. And if you want to turn around and have that same testimony, you would have to be born again. You would have to put that flesh to the side. You would have to become Israel to have power with God and man. You notice that he said in the same thing in Luke. He had got increased in favor and stature with God and man. Why? Because he hid this man's word in his heart. He binded his commandments to his heart. He didn't forsake them. He let mercy and truth be his guide. Let's go back to 2 Chronicles 26 though. Let's see if Uzziah did that. Or did he get high-minded? Where we start back? About verse 8. Let's look at verse 9. And moreover, Uzziah built towers in Jerusalem at the corner gate, and at the valley gate, and at the turning of the wall, and fortified them. We'll come back to that during unleavened bread, if Lord will. And he also built towers in the desert, digged many wells, for he had much cattle, both in the low country and in the plains, husbandmen also, and vine dressers in the mountains, and in Carmel, for he loved husbandry. Now, why would you think this man to sit back and say he loved husbandry? Why would King Uzziah love husbandry? We just really talked about this on Wednesday. Well, let's look at Genesis chapter 9, and maybe y'all can see why Uzziah would love husbandry. Genesis chapter 9. What is it, about verse 6? No, not verse 6, pardon me. About verse 20. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. Now I'm going to see who remembers this second part. Now we see that Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. What's the vineyard he planted? Who's the husbandman? Why is this important? No, the Father's the husbandman here. And Yahshua is the vine. Let's see why. John 15 again. Remember, he said he planted a vineyard. John 15 and 1 yet again. I am the vine, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bear not fruit, he take it away, and every branch that bear fruit, he purge it, that it might bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the word that I spake unto you, which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye except you abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abide in me, and I in him, the same bring forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered. And men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, which will cause you to have favor with God and man, like Solomon told you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall you be my disciples. As the Father hath loved me, so I have loved you. Continue ye in my love. Because it said Uzziah loved husbandry. So why would he love husbandry? Because he would love to plant the vine and the fruit that would come from that vine. The fruit that would come from that vine, which would be eternal life. See, a lot of y'all don't love husbandry because you know what happens when you have to plant a vineyard. So you have to do some labor, and you got to plant some seeds, and then the seeds got to die because they got to take root in the ground in order for them to bear forth fruit. So when King Uzziah loves husbandry, he would love to plant seeds and watch the seeds die. Why do you think he gave you the parable of the sower? Because the parable of the sower is about a man who sowing seeds, which means he was in the husbandry because he was seeking to bring forth fruit. But see, you know, you got niggas in the stoning who buy and buy, they abide for a while. But when persecution or affliction arise because of the word, they're offended. Then you got those who in the thorns because, you know, they want to desire the things of this life and the deceitfulness of riches, and they choke it off. Then you got those who by the wayside who don't understand the word, so when they hear it, Satan come through and snatch it away because it was already in their heart to reject it. And then you got the good ground that bring forth fruit. And those who bring forth fruit, he just said that my Father would love you. So therefore, that's why he would love husbandry, for the fruit that he would gather. See, he told you that in James chapter 5. I guess we'll read it again. James 5 and 7. See, y'all don't want to get in there and do that work. Because all you want to scream is, it's hard. It's hard. Well, tighten up then. Anything worth having takes some work. Ain't that what they say? If any and everybody could do it and get it, it ain't worth having. That's how some of you. That's why a lot of women wombs broke down and wore out. I'm talking about. Remember this here? It's just like this here. That's all you hear. They crack their legs open. All you hear is this here. A cavern. It's just cavernous. Nigga, small families can live in here. You know what I'm saying? And you know why? Because that woman did not value herself. She knew she wasn't worth having. That's why she let everybody get it. A woman who know her worth and she knows she wasn't having, anybody can't come around here jumping up and down at me. Nigga just can't take me out to eat, but take me to a movie or flash some money. He got a nice car, think I'm finna toot my booty in there. I respect myself. If more of our women would be like that, we wouldn't have so many bastard children around here. We wouldn't have so many broken homes. Wouldn't have so many homosexual and feminine sons. Wouldn't have so many lesbian daughters. Wouldn't have so many masculine women who call themselves, I'm thinking like a man. No, nigga, you want to be a man. Go and get a strap on, nigga. Just go and live your life like that. You know, woman got no business thinking like no man. You ain't no man. You couldn't think like a man if nobody paid you. Because they ain't thinking like no man. They thinking like a nigga and a little boy. These people, this nigga wrote a book and made a movie called Think Like a Man, got y'all thinking like a sinner. And niggas follow behind it. Because a man don't think like that. We don't even have no standard of what a man is. We don't even weigh the standard by God's word. We just weigh it by whatever we think is right. See, a man do this. That's what I was telling y'all the other day. Some of y'all done heard it. It came from a while back when one of the sisters was telling her son to do something. A man just supposed to figure it out. That don't make you no man. Man supposed to ask, I don't know what I'm doing. Humility is a good sign in a man. But they teach little boys from an early age to be proud and never ask for assistance and help. Then when they get in a situation where they need help, they don't ask for it. Then you turn around and say, well, why you ain't asked me for it? Nigga, it's your fault. You didn't teach me that. You told me to figure it out on my own. So just keep busting your head up against a wall until you figure it out. I see you got 6 knots on your head, your forehead split wide open, but just keep running your head up against the brick wall. Maybe you'll figure out to stop hitting your head against the wall a while. Maybe you ask me, is there another way around this wall? Say, yeah, son, you could have just walked around it. That sets you up to be proud. But we don't know that. And the worst part is, it's women who come up telling men that, teaching their sons that. A man don't ask for help. He figured out on his own. Nigga, how would you know you got a vagina? You're not a man. You don't have testosterone. You got estrogen. You're not built to lead. This thing kicked me off. I'm for real though. See, I used to hear that type of stuff on TV, man. I never actually heard it live and in person. But my mama always told me, you don't know who's ask for help. My mama would go off on me if I ain't ask for help. All right, y'all. It kicked me off, y'all. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. My mama used to go off on me for not asking for help. Like, what's wrong with you if you didn't know what you're doing? Why you ain't ask nobody to help you? My auntie did too. That's why I never entered in. That's why if you ask me something I don't know what I'm doing, I'll tell y'all the real. I don't know how to do that. I'm not even finna play with you. Like, I know what I'm doing. I ain't finna try to figure it out. I mess around, break it. You know what I'm saying? It's just better for me not to fool with it because I don't know what I'm doing. It's just better that way. Let's find somebody who's more skilled and proficient at it than I am. See, there's no shame in that. See, people take you to be shamed because you tell somebody, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good at that. It's better served, I go get somebody who is. You know, some of the most successful businessmen in this world are like that because they knew the areas where they were weak at, so they went and hired people who were the best at that field and paid them to do it. And they had a marvelous team that couldn't be broken because he didn't look at it, I could do it on my own, or I'm going to figure it out on my own. I'm not good at that. Why waste my time when that's not my skill set and my talent? Let me find somebody who is good at it and we can get this money together. See, niggas don't think like that. And I'm talking about, that don't got nothing to do with no race. I'm talking about mentality. Niggas don't think like that. Real business people, real successful people, wise people, they think like that. Because they're not concerned with self or trying to keep it all with themselves. Because if I can get somebody who's good at this, that means we can make more money and we probably end up making more money together than I would have dolo. Y'all don't hear me though. James 5 and 7. Be patient therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman wait for the precious fruit of the earth and have long patience for it, until he received the early and latter rain. Why you think Uzziah loved husbandry? John chapter 13 verse 1. Why you think he loved husbandry? Because he loved his people. God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. I guess we'll read that too. John 13 and 1. Why you think Uzziah would love husbandry? Because he gonna love to plant that vine and wait for that fruit. I want my people to bear fruit that they might have life. But like we already read, but you won't come unto me that you might have life, because you rather get honor from men. Now before the feast of Passover, when Yahshua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own, which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. You got to sit back and know now. He said, my sheep know me, and they hear my voice, and they follow me. If you are his sheep, man, this man gonna love you all the way to the end. All the way to the end. John chapter 3. It ain't like this here, man. Man say, can't nobody pluck you out my hand. He said, can't nobody do it. John 3 and 16. Make it 14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but the world through him might be saved. And you know, you go back and look at the book of Isaiah, and he said that Judah was his pleasant plant, which again go back to Yahshua. And that he planted a vineyard, but that vineyard brought forth wild grapes, referring to Israel. See, drop down about verse 30 and look what verse 35. Let's look what he say about the Son. The Father loved the Son, and hath given all things in his hand. Because Noah was a husband, and he planted the vine. Therefore, he had a love for the husbandry, because I planted that vine. I love it. That's my only begotten Son. I give it all things into his hand. And those who are born of him that keep the commandments, I love them, because they abide in his love, like my Son abided in mine. Because they were worrying about getting the honor that came from me, instead of getting the honor that comes from men. Once y'all get a mind to get the honor that comes from y'all, not the honor that comes from men, you might be able to progress and mature in his word. When you start worrying about that. But y'all keep on worrying about how somebody else look at you and see how fast you bust hell wide open for being an idiot. Y'all need to leave that Sunday church stuff alone, man. Y'all should have left that stuff right there in the Sunday church where you left it. But then again, you probably were like that before you got in the Sunday church, worrying about how somebody viewed you because you wanted the image. You wanted the image. Talk about, nigga, only people supposed to have image of celebrities because they trying to get money. How a poor nigga worry about an image? Nigga, you ain't selling no books, no movies, no t-shirts, no DVDs, no CDs. Nigga, you ain't trying to get nobody to shop with you. You just want somebody to say, that's a good nigga. That's a good woman. Nigga, your self-respect and self-worth has to be non-existent. You need to ask yourself why. I thank the Lord, man. I ain't never had low self-esteem. Am I going to tell you there were times where my confidence might have been low? Yeah. You ever had times like your confidence low? I think everybody could bear witness to that. I think it was out to you say it wasn't no time where my confidence where it wasn't supposed to be, but I ain't never had low self-esteem though. A lot of y'all got low self-esteem. You know what I'm talking about? That stuff ain't good, man. Nigga, you can't be approaching 30, man. You can't have kids with low self-esteem, man. Your kids gonna learn that. Your kids gonna learn that. And they gonna grow up with low self-esteem. You can't have low self-value and low self-respect. Come telling you, man, if you got low self-esteem, your self-worth low, your value low, your self-respect low, you can't love anybody. And you definitely can't love God. You know why? 1 John 4 and 18. See, when you have all these things like that in your heart, this is what come up. This is what happened. 1 John 4 and 18. I don't know if I read John 3:35. I'll read it again. The Father loved the Son and given all things in his hand. He that believe on the Son have everlasting life. He that believe not on the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God abide on him. 1 John 4 and 18. 1 John 4. Y'all all right? Y'all cool? Y'all breathing? Y'all alive? Praise the Lord. I say praise ye y'all for y'all sure. Don't get it, Lizzie. Better watch on that couch. Lizzie might jump off. She's a stunt baby. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear hath torment. He that fear is not made perfect in love. When your self-esteem low, that means you fear how people view you. When your self-respect and self-value low, that's all fear. All these things are fearful things, man. You ain't got no love. There's no way in the world you're gonna be made complete in love with God. You're gonna have a mature love with God, because you're not gonna have no confidence. You have no confidence in yourself, and since you have no confidence in yourself, how can you have confidence in God? That's gonna be impossible. See, I can tell you these things, and y'all just get stuck on the natural. He right. If I don't love myself, I definitely couldn't love no man to be his wife, or no man to be like, shoot, he right, man. I don't love myself. How can I love my wife? It ain't about none of that, you idiot. Stop being so carnal. Matter of fact, 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 1. Stop being so carnal all the time. Y'all should already know on a natural level you can't love somebody if you don't love yourself. But inside a period of time, you got to see what I'm trying to show you. You can't love God if you don't love yourself. If you don't have confidence in yourself, there's no way you can have confidence in God. There's no way. Like I told y'all just be worried about, man, we moving dealing with things that pertain to being made perfect. So when you dealing with things pertaining to being made perfect, it's bigger than not eating swine and keeping a Sabbath. Now we got to deal with matters of the heart. Your heart got to be changed. Man, it should have been a period of time. This word should have been done, took hold of your heart. Some of y'all been doing this for a year, 6 months, 8, 9 months, and the word still ain't took hold of your heart. It supposed to have been done, took hold of your heart to cause a transformation in your heart, your mind, and your spirit. A total change supposed to have been done came on. I know some of y'all might be hard on yourself and feel like you ain't where you would want to be. But some of y'all have exhibited growth and maturity. Some of you niggas is just like a nigga on a treadmill, going nowhere fast. You been running, but you ain't went nowhere. You just been running in place. And I've been trying to tell you repeatedly that you running in place, but you didn't want to listen to me. Sometimes I be telling y'all stuff, man, y'all don't be wanting to listen. Because you thinking I'm just picking and poking. I'm trying to tell you this stuff, man. I tell my old lady all the time, if you listen to me the first time, you wouldn't even have to deal with this stuff. It wouldn't even took you this long to get through this if you just would have heard me when I told it to you the first time. And you know what usually ends up happening? Every time, she come back around and be like, you was right, you told me that. I know it. That's why I told it to you the first time. If you just would have listened to me, we wouldn't have had to went through all this. This could have been nipped in the bud right then, and you could have saved yourself a lot of stress, a lot of heartache, a lot of hitting your head up against the wall if you just would have listened to me when I told it to you the first time. Because I think I might know what I'm talking about every now and then. Sometimes. Maybe a few times. I don't know. I don't be telling y'all stuff to be mean. I tell you this stuff for your own good. Save you a lot of trouble. Man, I had a lot of people tell me stuff, man. It saved me from a lot of trouble because they called me. They like, man, little nigga, pull a nigga aside. Look at a little nigga. Man, you see this here, what you doing? Woo, woo, woo. I said, I appreciate that. Especially when a nigga, especially, and the only time you don't really want to sit back and listen to what somebody telling you is for one or two reasons. Either you're just hard-headed or you don't respect or value that person's opinion and what they're telling you. That's the only two reasons. Would you agree? I think a lot of times my old lady just hard-headed. She thinks she just got it figured out. And I'm pretty much, like I said, I'm pretty much batting 1,000 right now, man. I'm like 30 for 30, man. I might got more hits than that. I'm just being modest right now. I might be 30 for 30, man. After a while, you would think, you know what? He's been hitting grand slams pretty much every at bat. Every nothing, you know what I'm saying? Think I might just want to just go ahead and bat 1,000. And she know it too. You know what I'm saying? I be telling the stuff long before it happened. Long, I be wanting a lot of stuff, man. I've been wanting to long for it even happen. Like I'm telling you, this is what this person gonna do. This is why that person did that. And every time the Lord turned right back around and showed her, this why. Not only her, she done told, man, I done told quite a few of them. They can tell you I done told them stuff they ain't like to hear. They kicked and fight. Lord sat back and showed them. I don't know why you did all that there. You wasn't kicking and fighting against him. You were kicking and fighting against me. I'm the one told him to tell you that. I'm the one put it in his heart to tell you that. He just telling you what he see, and what I see is what he see. I mean, I'm telling you, man, you niggas easier to read than a Dr. Seuss book, man. Shoot. Cat in the hat, nigga. Easy money. Easy money. Green eggs and ham. I do not like green eggs and ham. Sam I am. I do not like.
See? And you say that.
1 Corinthians 3:1.
Fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
See, I might have to go back to go to talking to y'all like this here, man. Because we trying to give you some meat. I guess you niggas choking. He saying, I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in the Messiah. I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hereto you were not able to bear it. Neither yet now are ye able, for you are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying. See, if you around here envying, yeah, nigga, you carnal. And strife, you always arguing, and divisions. You got little cliques, you separated. You don't like talk to everybody. You only want to deal with this person, that person. You separated. Yeah, you carnal. Are you not yet carnal and walk as men? For while one say, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos. He say, are ye not yet carnal? Who then is Paul and who was Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believe, even as the Lord gave to every man? I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. So neither is he that plant anything, neither he that water, but God that gave the increase. That's why the Lord loved husbandry. I mean, Uzziah. That's why he loved husbandry. That's what y'all sit back and look at. Y'all look at the stuff you doing. You still calling. You walk like a man. You ain't walking like a God, not a son of God. He said ye are gods and sons of the Most High. So if you a son of God, why you ain't walking like one? You walking like a man. You think carnally. I give my old lady credit. When we went through that, have your desire to your husband, she heard exactly what the Lord was trying to express. Because it was bigger than me and her. She heard exactly what he was trying to express. And you know how I know that? Because she let me know that evening, as soon as I was finished, that she heard exactly what the man was trying to express. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes y'all need to slow your brain down and actually listen and hear what the man is trying to express to you. And stop thinking about the stuff that you want. Come on back over here to 2 Chronicles chapter 26. Hold on, there's one more thing. My apologies. When we read in that Genesis chapter 9 that Noah began to drink and became drunken and became uncovered in his tent, what y'all think that's talking about? When we read in this Genesis chapter 9 and verse 21, after it said that Noah became a husbandman and planted a vineyard, it said that Noah had drank some wine and got drunk and he was uncovered in his tent or was naked. What y'all think that means? Sit back and think about it. Noah drunk some wine. He got drunk. In the process of getting drunk, he was basically naked. Now what could this mean? Well, let's go look and see then. Cause nobody catch it out. Matthew 26. Yep, I heard you, Pimp. You ain't wrong. Matthew chapter 26, verse 39. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. And he come unto the disciples and find them asleep, and saith unto Peter, What? Could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray, that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. I'm going to tell y'all something. I done told y'all this before a lot of times too. Just reading the word, watching the video, is not going to get the job done alone. There has to be an innate desire inwardly to please God. Like Paul said in Romans chapter 7, I delight after the law of God in the inward man. There has to be a delight in your heart to do this. Just like we read, he say, thy law is within my heart. I delight to do thy will, O God. That's why Paul said that, because he's showing you the framework of the mind of the Messiah, because that's the mind Yahshua had. I delight to do thy will, O God. Thy law is within my heart. You got Paul saying, I delight in the law of God in my inward parts. When you have a delight for the word inwardly, when you read it, when you hear it, you begin to do just like we read in Proverbs 3. You lay it up in your heart. You bind it upon your neck. You let it direct your path. You don't forsake it. Therefore, you get a good understanding and favor with God and man. Therefore, it begins to activate within you inwardly, and it begins to direct you. It's like computer software. Once you upload software in a computer and it's downloaded, that software and that computer are on one accord. They know exactly what to do when the program starts. You press a particular button in that software and know exactly what to do. Ain't got to think about it. It's natural. See, y'all try to force stuff. When you forcing to try to be something, that means you pretending. Can't be pretending. It's got to be natural. This stuff got to be innately in you where you move by. You ain't even got to think about it. A lot of times when y'all make decisions, y'all don't even think about the Lord first. Y'all just do it. And then you be like, oh man, I wonder should I have done that. Like the word and what the word say don't come in your mind when y'all do stuff. Y'all just do it. That means it's not bound up in your heart. It's not bounded in your neck. It's not directing you. It's not leading you. You ain't. That's why you steady fall to your flesh, because it weak. The spirit will. He said the inward man delight after the law of God. Seek to serve God. The flesh want to do what it want to do. And most of y'all pleasers of men instead of God, so you go with the flesh. You go with what feels good. They live in a dream, buddy. They live in a dream. Verse 42. And he went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, this cup may not pass from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then come he to his disciples and saith unto them, Sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doth betray me. He drunk that wine. He was uncovered in his tent. Being uncovered in his tent would be uncovered in his tabernacle. What do you mean? Because the tent where you dwell. He was uncovered in his tent. They was able to come get him here. He was exposed. What he told Peter. Let's look what he told Peter. Then we'll look in Joshua chapter 10. It's all going to tie together. I ain't forget about 2 Chronicles 26. I thought I'd get to Job 28 tonight. I guess not. I might be able to swing it in. Maybe not. We see how the Lord works out. Make it Luke. Make it Luke. Let me see if Mark what I want. That ain't how that worded. Let me see what's worded in there. Might have to be John we got to use for this here. Go over here to John chapter 18. I'm telling you something, man. That's what y'all problem is. John 18 and 10. Until you bind this word up in your heart and let it direct you and guide you and lead you, you're going to have problems. Listen. Listen. Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it and smote the high priest's servant and cut off his right ear. Thy servant's name was Malchus. Then said Yahshua unto Peter, Put up thy sword into the sheath. The cup which my Father hath given me, shall I not drink it? Then the band and captain and the officers of the Jews took Yahshua and bound him. Took him and bound him. He was uncovered in the tent. Came and got him. He said you couldn't have had no power against me whatsoever unless my Father gave it to you. Come over here to Joshua chapter 10. All this because the Father loved husbandry, because he was the true vine. In order for this true vine to be planted, he had to die. He had to put him in the earth. Can't get no vine without planting it first, can you? Now, we just looked at about a week or so ago, right? How Joshua made the sun stand still, and it stood still in the midst of the heavens for a whole day. So that was Yahshua on the tree, right? So now we look at verse 18. Matter of fact, let's look at verse 15. Joshua 10 and 15. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him unto the camp to Gilgal. But these 5 kings fled and hid themselves in a cave at Makkedah. And it was told Joshua, saying, the 5 kings are found hid in a cave at Makkedah. Hold on. Revelation chapter 6. Now these 5 kings went and hid in a cave. Let's sit back and see if we got something for that. It's still going to be talking about the Messiah when we get to these kings. But I want to show y'all something. Say these kings went to go hide in the cave. Let's see if we find something about that. Revelation chapter 6 by verse 16. Make it 15. Saying 5 kings went and hid in the cave, right? Well, let's see what happened here. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sit on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath is come. Who shall be able to stand? See, you know, when we remember that, y'all go back and look at it. When we looked at Joshua chapter 10, these were the people who were wanting to go to war with Joshua because he was conquering the lands. Now they sat back and said, let us hide from him in some mountains, in some caves, just like these men in Revelation. Ain't that something? Come on back to Joshua chapter 10. Well, let's look at verse 18 and let's see what happened. And Joshua said, roll great stones upon the mouth of the cave, and set men by it for to keep them. And stay you not, but pursue after your enemies, and smite the hindmost of them, and suffer them not to enter into their cities. For Yah your God hath delivered them into your hand. And it came to pass, when Joshua and the children of Israel made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter till they were consumed, the rest remained of them entered into fenced cities. And all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. None moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. Then said Joshua, open the mouth of the cave, and bring out those 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so, and brought forth those 5 kings unto him out of the cave. Hold on, y'all. The king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron. And y'all know why Hebron is important. Who know why Hebron is important? You know why Hebron is important? What? Before David ruled in Jerusalem, he ruled in Hebron. The king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said unto the captains of the men of war which went with him, come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. And they came near, and put their feet upon the necks of them. And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, for thus shall Yah do to against all your enemies against whom you fight. Now this man just say, take the foot and put it on the neck of all these kings. Oh, but you gotta go to Genesis chapter 3. Genesis 3 and about verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So that means that he would step on his neck then, wouldn't it? So when we turn back around and if we would go look in Hebrews chapter 2, it said he defeated him that had power over death, that is the devil, then, isn't it? Which means he stepped on the head of the ruler of this world, which would go right back, because he say, take this word and bind it upon your neck. Ain't that what we read in Proverbs? Take this word and bind it upon your neck. So he say, take the yoke, put the yoke on you. So he said, come over here and step on their neck, because this is what y'all going to do to your enemies. And through this man's death, he was able to destroy your enemy, which was death. Thank the Lord for salvation. Now, how come people don't know that? When we sit back and look at it, Just come on back and look at Revelation. Look at John chapter 11. Just look at John chapter 11, verse 25. Look what the man tell you. We're good at Genesis chapter 3. Just keep Joshua chapter 10 and 2 Chronicles 26. Maybe I'll get a little bit of Job 28. Because there's a lot in Job 28. And maybe I'll get to a little bit of it. John 11 and 25. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Yahshua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believe in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. Whosoever live and believe in me shall never die. Believe thou this. Because he stood up, he said, this is what y'all will do for your enemies. He will put his foot on their neck. The man just sat back and told you, man, you going to step on this serpent's head. Going to step on his neck. Romans chapter 7. Thank the Lord. Verse 24. Y'all don't sit back and look at this, what this man came to do. This is again point right back to what we talked about Wednesday night. How Adam wasn't made to live forever. You know, Adam was destined to die. The first thing that let y'all know that what the lick read on that is because he said the lamb was slain from the foundation of the world. Man, this thing was set in order from day one. This man had to come back and redeem it. He never made Adam to live forever. It was against the plan of salvation. There would have been no, how would y'all would have been glorified through that? Again, because it's all about seeking the honor that comes from God. Y'all seek the honor that comes from men. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? I thank God through Yahshua HaMashiach our Lord. So then with the mind I serve the law of God, but with the flesh the law of sin. So he's like, how is he serving his flesh, serving the law of sin? Because the law said from Genesis chapter 3, because of sin you die. So he said, my flesh gonna perish, but my mind, I'm gonna serve God. See, y'all serve the flesh and try to convince yourself that your mind serve God. Because that's all Paul was telling you. I'm going to die, but my mind, I'm going to serve God. Because he told you the soul that sin it shall die. Well, death on me, because I'm in this body. That's why he said we seek to be clothed with immortality. This mortal be swallowed up by immortal. But while I'm in the immortal, I'm going to die. I know this going to happen. But my desire is to live. My desire is to serve God. My mind going to serve God. The flesh is weak. The spirit is willing. Your mind got to want to do this. Y'all, some of y'all ain't got a mind to do this. It's all about show. Can't be about show. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, man. It can't be about show. How you gonna pretend to go to hell when you can just do that on general principle? Just go do your thing. Man, just be like Heavy D, man. Heavy D had a song back, he said, I'm doing my own thing. Just go do your own thing. Man trying to save you, man. And y'all fighting against it. Verse 6 of 2 Corinthians chapter 1. Make it 4. Make it 3. Blessed be God, even the Father of our Lord Yahshua HaMashiach, the Father of mercies, and the God of all comfort, who comfort us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble, by the comfort whereof we ourselves are comforted of God. And that's what we read in Joshua chapter 10, that them people were troubled by these kings, and God comforted them through that. Y'all don't sit back and realize that's Noah. You could get the comfort if you just would obey. If you just would believe. Y'all wonder, some of y'all wonder why you got so much trouble, stuff don't go your way, stuff like this here, because you disobedient. And the worst part is you'll scream, how am I disobedient? What I'm doing? Nigga, sit your mind butt down, nigga. You know what you're doing. That man told you that in his word. That man said, as forth as our iniquities, we know them. So you sit back around here and you know you being disobedient, you sinning, and you say you don't know what you doing. You just call God a liar because the man say, nigga, you know what you doing. You're too proud to admit what you're doing. Like somebody's stupid. For the sufferings of Hamashiach abound in us, so our consolation also abound by Hamashiach. And whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and salvation, which is effectual in the enduring of the same sufferings, which we also suffer, or whether we be comforted, it is for your consolation and salvation. And our hope of you is steadfast, knowing that as you are partakers of the sufferings, so shall you be also of the consolation. For we would not, brethren, have you ignorant of our trouble which came to us in Asia, that we were pressed out of measure above strength, insomuch that we despaired even of life. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God which raised the dead. That's why y'all can't get right. See, we sit back and look at it. Yahshua had a sentence of death in itself. That's why he didn't trust in himself. He said, my Father gave me a commandment that I ought to lay my life down. He said, I lay my life down. He said, no man take it from me. I lay it down on myself. I pick it up on myself, because I got a sentence of death in myself. I'm going to read that again. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God which raised the dead. When Yahshua was praying for that cup to pass, he said, Father, not my will be done, but thy will be done, because I got a sentence of death in me. Therefore I trust in you and not in myself. The reason why y'all can't get right, y'all don't have a sentence of death in you, and you trust in yourself. And that's why you fall. That's why you can't get right. That's why you won't get the Spirit, and that's why you're going to go to hell. Because you ain't, I'm going to tell you something, man. When I read the word, man, and this man began to open my eye, like Pell just put something up there in the comment the other day about, man, I was in this man, this started in 2011. Man, I was in this man ear every day with stuff that was contrary to what the men who taught him was teaching him. All the time, every time I talk to him, I'm telling him something different. I'm like, no, that ain't what it is, man. That ain't what it is, man. I mean, the first time he came to the spot where I was dwelling at in San Marco, he was like, wow, I just was just pulling stuff out. Woo, 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 woo. It wasn't the man that showed me. It wasn't the man that gave me. It was diametrically opposed to the stuff that the men he was rolling with and dealing with at the time we're talking about. Because this man showed me early, you got to die, son. You got to die. I was willing to take that sentence. The same way I was standing in front of Judge Lansdale on June 16, 2005, and took them 5 years, because he sentenced me to that. I didn't plea out, I was sentenced to it. I got to take that bid, I got to do that. So when the Lord stood in front of me and say, son, you got to die, I got to take that sentence. That means I can no longer trust in myself. I really stopped trusting in myself from day one, because when the word came, I sat back, I considered something. I say, man, you've been doing your own thing for 28 years and it ain't worked. It's time to try something else, man. Let's see how the Lord's way works, because your way ain't did it. Let's see how his way works. Let's see what you get out of that. Y'all hear me? So y'all didn't look at it and think about it like that, like, my way ain't been working. See, you said it, but you didn't believe it. And the reason how I know you didn't believe it, because you still been doing your thing. See, if you believed it, you would have ceased from doing your thing, and you would have been doing y'all's thing. You know what I'm saying? Man, I tell y'all this stuff, man, because I love you. I ain't telling you stuff to be mean. I'm just letting you know, man, you've been stupid for a long time. How long you gonna stay that way? I mean, I thank the Lord, man. The Lord gave Pell the ear to hear. Cause I'm talking about, man, I was at this man relenting with this stuff, man. Like, I'm sitting with the nigga who you learned with there. This nigga's an idiot. I'm sitting to this nigga. Well, go ahead, Pell. Yeah. He tried to do me like that. The only difference was, nigga, I ain't studying what you're talking about. I know where I get mine from. So it didn't make me that bit of different point. I know you stupid, nigga. Nigga got a wind gate in his mouth. Nigga open his mouth, nigga mouth go to whistling. Nigga, I'm sitting here looking at you. I'm sitting here looking at you lust after women while they sitting right here. Nigga, I know you ain't got no word. I'm watching you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I see you, nigga. See the difference with me, man? I'm talking about, man, I be peeping everything. Just a lot of times I don't say nothing. I didn't let y'all think I'm stupid. Just because I don't say nothing don't mean nothing. And Langston been around me a little bit more than Pale had after we got out of school. Langston, no, boy, I watch everything. I peep everything. I just don't say nothing all the time. I ain't got to say something every time. I just sit back and see it, keep my eyes closed. I might deal with somebody, man, and be like, yeah, man, that nigga all right, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Pull one of my people to the side, man, watch that nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that nigga like this here, but we gonna see how it play out. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. I tell my old lady that all the time. You know what I'm saying? I just ain't going to come out in front of all y'all and be like, man, yeah, that nigga there, man, that nigga sour, that nigga that nigga this here. I give you the benefit of the doubt. I know in my own mind what I think from what I see from your behavior. I keep it to myself. I just sit back and watch it. Hopefully you prove me wrong. A lot of times you niggas don't prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I straight up down. Like my old lady, I know my old lady. She just, you know what I'm saying? Just ain't really had, you know, my old lady lived the sheltered experience. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have a lot of life experiences. So, especially dealing with this word and how the Lord forcing her to have to mature and grow up, it was a lot for her to handle. So she would just revert back to what she knew. But I knew that she would do that. And a couple times I'd tell her that. But you know what I'm saying? I just sit back and be like, I know she'll get through it. She just got to be able to know how to handle it. She in a situation she ain't never been in before. It's a lot for her. So you actually take the time to sit back and know somebody, you can figure that out. So if they do something crazy or do something stupid, it won't really bother you that much. Because you know what the byproduct of it is. You just try to be patient with them so they can get through it. I know what it is. Told her that many times. You get in a situation you ain't never been in, you'll fight or swim. And a lot of times, some people are just fight. And then usually when you fight, you revert back to what you know, which wasn't working for you. Because you be scared, which shows immaturity. She used to get upset when I used to tell her to grow up because she took it the wrong way what I was telling her. I'm telling you to mature. You must grow up. You can't continue to be and do and think like you used to. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the few people in life, man, boy, I would challenge a nigga straight to his face, man. Like straight to your face, man. Like you gotta do better than that. Straight up and down. A lot of people, they're not used to that. A lot of y'all are used to people kissing your black behind. But like MJG say, you know, butts I do not clean. I don't clean butts. I used to clean buildings. Used to clean restaurants. I don't clean booty holes. And I ain't talking about no literally cleaning no booty holes either. Like eating booty, nigga. I don't kiss no behind, man. I ain't no brown noser, man. I don't do that type of stuff. For what? I was just telling the brother earlier, man. I don't care if a nigga don't like me. And man, I'll tell you this here, man, because sometimes I done told women this before. They be like, well, I won't mess with you. Leave then. How could you say that? Because if you don't want to be here, I don't want you here. I don't want to be with somebody that don't want to be with me. I don't want to be somewhere where I ain't wanted. I mean, when we talking about, she was like, man, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. I say, well, nigga, leave then. I'm saying, I'm like, what you mean, nigga? Who you think you is? Nigga, nobody finna beg you to stay, nigga. Nigga, I barely even like you. If it wasn't for the Lord, I'd have been walked away from you. I barely like you. See, I ain't one of them niggas. I ain't finna beg nobody to stay with me, man. I ain't finna beg nobody. I'm talking about nobody. And you know where I get that from? Because my God ain't finna beg you to stay. This ain't what you want to do. This ain't where you want to be. Nigga, leave. You ain't said nothing. You ain't said nothing. That's what you sit back and look at, man. Because God said, if you forsake me, I'll forsake you. So that's where I got it from. I got it from my dad. I got it from my father. That's where I got it from. So you leave me, I'll leave you. You don't want to be here, I don't want to be here either. You want to be here, I want to be here too. I couldn't have been alive in the 60s, man. Niggas getting sprayed with water, holding beat across their head, to pee and in the same pot, and poop in the same pot, and drink from the same fountain, and sit at a lunch table. I ain't going through all that. You don't want me to eat here? I don't want to eat here. Straight up. You don't want me to ride in the front of your bus? I'll walk in. I'll ride a bicycle. I don't want to ride your bus. That's just the mind. I buy anything. This ain't what you want. Ain't nowhere in the world. These niggas be chasing after a woman, she look in the face, I don't want you. You ain't got to tell me one time. You'll never hear from me again in life. I ain't one of them niggas to tell that. I ain't one of them niggas to tell that. I don't want to be with you. And you just saying that because you upset a man. You'll never hear again from me in life. You can bet that. I'm talking about I'll get your number out my phone. I won't come to your house. And you be like, I didn't mean it. Shouldn't have said it. Because I'm going to take you straight for your word. I don't play that type of game. Say what you mean what you say. Because you tell me you don't want me around, I ain't coming around. Ever. It's that serious with me. I don't go where I ain't want it. You don't want me around, you ain't never got to worry about seeing me. Ever. Ever. Because I ain't hard up for friends, man. Straight up. I ain't hard up for it. And you know what I go back to? I got self-confidence. I got self-respect. My self-worth and value is very high. My self-esteem is very high. I will care. What do they say? I will survive. I will survive. I will make it. My life will continue. I will not die because you go. Verse 10:9 one more time. We had a sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God which raised the dead, who delivered us from so great a death, and doth deliver, in whom we trust that he will yet deliver us. That's the purpose why he sat back and said he doth deliver. Put your feet on the neck of your enemy, because this is what y'all gonna do to defeat your enemies. I'm gonna put my foot on his neck. Death has been defeated. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Thank the Lord for salvation. Look at that boy. Leah don't never want to go to sleep. Act like she finna die because she gotta go to sleep. She'll be alright. 24th verse of 1 Corinthians 15. See, y'all got to hear, man. I'm telling you, man. That's just how I think. I don't think like the average dude. That's why sometimes I get offended when some of you niggas try to lump me in thinking like the average nigga think. I don't think like that, nigga. Just because you've been talking to busters and suckers and lames all your life, don't try to put me in that box. I ain't never been no sucker. I ain't never been no lame. I ain't never been no buster. I just been me. Whether you call me by my first name, or nigga call me by my last name, or they call me boss, or they call me boss hog, or they call me buju, I've been the same nigga the whole 34 years I've been living. Nigga come to you now and be like, yeah, boss still the same. Only difference is he walking God's word. His outlook on life different. He's still the same dude, though. Still the same dude. I'm the same dude every single day. You're not going to catch me and I'm acting one way one day and I'm acting another way the next day. I'm the same every day. Say something stupid, I'm a straight you 7 days a week. You need some encouragement, you'll get that 7 days a week. You want the honest truth, you're going to get that 7 days a week. Every day I'm the same. I don't know how to be nothing else other than myself. I don't want to be like nobody else except the Lord. That's the only person I want to be like. I want to be like Yahshua. Period. That's it. There's not a man on this earth I want to emulate unless he follow the Lord too, because we follow the same person. That means you trying to emulate who I'm emulating. But then there's certain bits and pieces about what make him distinctively himself. I don't want to be him. That's you. I got to be me. Then come the end, when he shall deliver up the kingdom to God, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power, for he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. Because what did he tell him? Sit there at my right hand till I do what? Make thy enemies thy footstool. And what was he showing them when you got Joshua putting his feet on the neck of kings? Telling the people, put your feet on their neck. This is what y'all gonna do to your enemies. Make them your footstool. Ain't that something? For he hath put all things under his feet. Well, the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. For he hath put all things under his feet. But when he saith that all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is expected, which did put all things under him. And when all things shall be subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subject unto him that put all things under him, that God may be all in all. So you know what he telling me here? When the Son come back and set everything in order, then he going to be subject unto the man who gave him the authority and power to do it in the first place. But these niggas always screaming, y'all putting the Son above the Father. No, we ain't. The Father just say the Son going to do his thing till everything's set in order, and then he going to subject himself unto me because that's how I want it done. Can't be mad at it. I say thank the Lord. Praise y'all for Yahshua. But y'all see that? Why y'all think that story in there telling these men to put their feet on the neck of a king? These kings came to destroy Israel. Satan is called the prince of darkness, or the prince of this world, or the ruler, or the king of this world, the God of this world, the power of this world. He son of man say, put your neck on your feet on his neck. This is what y'all gonna do to fight your enemies, and he the one who had power over death. And Yahshua came through and struck through and destroyed. Put his foot on his neck. Praise y'all. Joshua chapter 10. Y'all don't hear me though, man. I'm talking about this boy beautiful, man. You can't be letting these people around. That's why these niggas be getting shook up off their face. Man, can't nobody shake me off this stuff. Nigga, I care less. Nigga, read what you want to read. I don't want to read none of them books. Nigga, I'm straight. See, some of you niggas easily swing. Just like you say, you toss to and fro like little children. From one doctrine to the next. You can't go down like that. I just thank the Lord. You get back on here, he dropping us off, but we rolling though. Word dropping, man. That's how I got to go down. I just thank the Lord. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. It just kicked me off. But listen to me. Nigga can't see like he said you toss to and fro from every wind of doctrine like children. See, little kids run after any and everything. See, little kids, that's why I was telling y'all earlier. See, little kids, they do stuff. See, they actually don't weigh out the consequences of their actions. And that's what y'all do. See, y'all do stuff, you don't think about it before you do it. Then when the negative consequence comes, that's when you actually think about what you did, just like little kids do. Just like they do. See, man, one thing with me, man, like Paul say, man, be settled, rooted, and grounded. Man, nigga can't move me, man. Nigga can't move me, man. Not an angel from heaven, not a spirit, not a man on this earth. Romans chapter 8, verse 34. Nigga can't move me, man. That's real. I can't speak for none of y'all. Can't nobody move me to go sin. Can't nobody move me to go do nothing. Because I don't want to do it. My own flesh can't move me to go do nothing. Man, I don't want to do that, man. I'm straight on that, bro. Who is he that condemned? Is it the Messiah that died, yet that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of God, who also make intercession for us? Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long, we are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in the Messiah, Yahshua our Lord. It ain't happening on my end. I feel the same way Paul feels. Ain't nothing happening. Let's look at Acts chapter 20, because it just came to my mind, because I love how Paul just put it. I just love how he put it. Acts 20 and 20. We still hold in Joshua chapter 10 and 2 Chronicles 26. We still I got to make all this stuff come back around. Make some sense. If the Lord permits. Everybody all right? Y'all good? They say, I don't hear nobody but Denzel, Delta, and Pale. Rest of y'all niggas sleepwalking, I guess. Oh, that's you, Glover. That's you, Glover. Ain't no you. Huh? No, I said, was that you? I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you when you called me. Yeah, I know you. I just ain't hear you. That's all. I said, I know your voice now. I'm telling you, man. We ride, we rolling, man. Rolling. You know what I'm saying? Soul got to be saved, man. This thing is serious, man. I just got to make sure y'all breathing, man. You got to make sure y'all breathing. He said, now I kept back nothing that was profitable unto you, but I have showed you and have taught you publicly from house to house. So I promise to you, for the thing, y'all not going to sit back and be able to talk about I kept back anything that could be for your gain. You go to hell because you want to go to hell. It's not going to be because you ain't heard. It's not going to be because you wasn't warned. It's not going to be because you wasn't told. Testifying both to the Jews and also to the Greeks, repentance towards God and faith towards our Lord Yahshua HaMashiach. And now behold, I go bound in the spirit unto Jerusalem, not knowing the things that shall befall me there, save that the Ruach HaKodesh witness in every city, saying that bonds and afflictions abide me. But none of these things move me. Neither count I my life dear unto myself, so that I may finish my course with joy and the ministry which I received of the Lord Yahshua to testify the gospel of the grace of God. See, I love that stuff, man. Paul say, man, don't none of that stuff move me, man. He say, bonds and afflictions rest on this man. Paul say, don't none of that stuff move me, and I don't count my life dear to myself. He said, I want to finish my course with joy. And we know that the joy of Yah is your strength. He said, I'm going to get strength in my joy of God. You know why I'm going to get that strength? Because they say I done died, because that's one of the fruits of the Spirit. I got joy in God. That's why God said he loved husbandry, because he loved those that died to the word, died to the flesh, and died for the word, that they might manifest his fruits and manifest his glory. I say hallelujah. Why you think he would love husbandry? Come on back to Joshua chapter 10. See, y'all don't love husbandry because you nigga don't want to die. You want to stay alive. You like the Bee Gees. Oh Lord, thank the Lord. So what we stopped at? Verse 24, I'm going to read it again. And it came to pass when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, Joshua called for all the men of Israel and said unto the captains of the men of war which went with him, come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. And they came near and put their feet upon the necks of them. And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, for this shall y'all do to all your enemies against whom ye fight. And afterward Joshua smote them, and slew them, and hanged them on 5 trees. And they were hanging upon the trees until the evening. And it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun, that Joshua commanded, and they took them down off the trees, and cast them in the cave wherein they been hid, and laid great stones in the cave's mouth, which remained until this very day. Well, you have a nigga say that ain't got nothing to do with Yahshua, because that happened to the 5 kings. But this man said they took him, slapped him, killed him, hung him on a tree, and then took him down when the sun went down and put him in a cave. Well, let's look at Mark chapter 14 and let's see if Yahshua got slapped around. I'm not sure if he got slapped around or not. Mark chapter 14, verse 62. And Yahshua said, I am, and ye shall, will make it 61. But he held his peace and answered nothing. And again the high priest asked him and said unto him, art thou Hamashiach, the son of the blessed? Yahshua said, I am, and ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power. and coming in the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest rent his clothes and saith, What need we any further witnesses? You've heard the blasphemy. What think ye? And they all condemned him to be guilty of death. And some began to spit on him and to cover his face and buffet him and to say to him, Prophecy. And the servants did strike him with the palms of their hands. They slapped him. You even read in John chapter 19 what a dude slapped him when he said, matter of fact, let's just look at it. Let's get another witness of somebody, 18 of them slapping that man. John 18 and 22. Before they crucified him, he said they smote him, then they slew him, and then he hung him on a tree. So let's see if they slapped Yahshua around before they crucified him, just like they slapped these 5 kings around before they hung them from a tree. And when he had thus spoken, one of the officers which stood by stroked Yahshua with the palm of his hand, and saying, Answer thou the high priest so? Yahshua answered him, If I spoke evil, bear witness of the evil, but if well, why smite thou me? Lord, how the Lord told him that. He said, man, if I did wrong, man, I could feel if you slapped me. But if I ain't did nothing wrong, Cole, what you put your hands on me for? He kept it real with it. If I said something evil, I couldn't even say nothing about you slapping me. But if I didn't, what you hit me for? That's how you know he was a soldier. And that's how you know he was a stand-up dude. Because he was letting it be known, if I'm wrong, I can take that. Get up off of that. Get up off of that. But if I wasn't wrong, what you hit me for? Acts chapter 5. Then after that, Galatians 3 and 13. After that, 1 Peter chapter 2. Then he said they took him and they hung him from a tree. You know, you got niggas sitting back arguing about where it say crucifixion in Hebrew and all. Man, who cares about all that, man? Who cares? Was he hung from a cross or was he hung from a tree? Nigga, it's all wood, nigga. People get so smart, they be stupid. Make it 30. Make it 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey God rather than men. The God of our fathers raised up Yahshua, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Him hath God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. Because he loved husbandry. And we are his witnesses of these things, and so is also the Ruach HaKodesh, whom God hath given to them that obey him. If you wonder why you ain't got the Spirit and you can't get it, I'm going to tell you something. The first part of coming to get it is obviously you got to stop sinning. Well, really that's part of the first part. The first part is you have to believe. And through that belief you will obey. And through that belief can only be fostered is through actually hearing the word, because we know faith come by hearing and hearing come by the word of God. So in order for you to believe, you would have to be taught. But some of y'all done sat down, y'all done heard some word. Get them off of that. Get them off of that. Y'all done heard some word, but you ain't obeying. And you will never get this man's spirit if you not obedient. See, Yahshua got the spirit of Kodesh from the resurrection of the dead because he obeyed. He obeyed. How you expect to get this man's spirit and you have not a single tap of obedience in your heart? You obey when it's convenient. When you get called out for your disobedience, you sit there and shrug. Get off of that. Get off of that. You shrug your shoulders like you don't know he's sitting on that pillow. I know you don't want him on that pillow. And you wonder why you can't get the spirit. Why can't I get it? Why can't I get it? Learn to obey. How about you learn to listen for a change? How about you learn to stop fighting with God, the man of God, and just listen and do what you're told and follow? But you'll never get this man's spirit you can't follow. Man, who remember what's the first thing they taught you in kindergarten? Galatians 3 and 13. Who remember what's one of the first things they taught you in kindergarten? Maybe even preschool if you went to preschool. What's one of the first things they taught you? Follow the leader. Follow directions. Follow directions. Word part here, you get on the white folks' job, you follow every direction they give you. This your job, serving God, your job, you don't follow none of his directions. You say, I do what I want. I don't care what that nigga say. Just like the nigga, you know, black folks tell they boss what they gonna do. Oh, I'm not doing that. That's part of your job description. I don't care what it is. I ain't doing it. Say the schedule say you supposed to be here at 5. I'll be there at 6:30. But you supposed to be here at 5. I'll be there at 6:30. And you sitting around looking like this nigga literally just told me when he was coming to work and what he was going to do when he got here. That's how y'all do the Lord. And if you're doing that on your job, you're dead wrong, because you're supposed to be subject to those who got authority over you. We'll read that in a minute too, since I said it. The Messiah have redeemed us from the curse of the law, having been made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone that hang on a tree. So how else was this man able to sit back and defeat your enemies and to put a neck on the feet of your enemies that showed an example of y'all coming up to fight for you, unless this man was hung from a tree? We won't read 1 Peter chapter 2, because you know in 1 Peter chapter 2, this man say the man, the Messiah, was hung from a tree and bear our sins in his own body, because by his stripes ye are healed. You ain't healed because you won't die. You won't follow his examples. Colossians chapter 4. Since I mentioned that man, y'all don't be going on the people job telling the people what you gonna do. You go in there and you do what the word say. Let's see what the word say you ought to do. Masters. Hold on, that's not what I wanted. Make sure that's what I want. Here we go. Verse 22 of the 3rd chapter of the Epistle of Colossians. Servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service, as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God. If you on your job, these people, your masters and your employee, they got rule over you, man. Obey them people in what they ask you to do. That's why he say according to the flesh. So it doesn't matter if they sinners or not. That don't give you free reign to tell them people, I'm not doing that because you're a sinner. You just sin, you dummy. They ain't asking you to do nothing to go against God's word. Do what the people ask you to do. But you see the thing said as men pleasers. That's what a lot of y'all do. See, some of y'all, if I mention something to do, see, some of y'all will do it just to say, I want to please him. Y'all be trying to please God. Don't do it for eye service, nigga. Do it from the heart. That's why you can't believe, because you receive honor from another, not the honor that comes from God only. Oh, it's amazing how he come back around and bring that back to you, crack across your head with it one more time. Ain't no God like our God. Blessed be the God of Israel, in the name of Yahshua HaMashiach. Ain't no God like our God. He say, whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. How can you believe that seek honor one from another and not the honor that comes from God only? Because you don't do it as doing it unto the Lord. You do it as to be seen of men. Knowing that of the Lord you shall receive the reward of inheritance, for you serve the Lord HaMashiach. Well, let's sit back and see. We seen Yahshua hung from a tree. Let's look at Mark 15. Let's see if they took him down before the sun when the sun was going down, and threw him in the cave and put a rock on him. Then we get back to 2 Chronicles 26. Ain't that something? All that we just looking at right now, because he said God loved, not God, I'm sorry, King Uzziah. It couldn't have been the Lord who loved husbandry. That was King Uzziah. He loved husbandry. Man, it word beautiful. I thank God for it. I thank God he saw fit to allow me to know it. Let me see what we want at. Mark chapter 15, verse 37. And Yahshua cried with a loud voice and gave up the ghost. And the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom. And when the centurion which stood over against him saw that he so cried out and gave up the ghost, he said, truly this man was the Son of God. There were also women looking on afar off, among whom was Mary Magdalene and Mary the mother of James the Less, and Joses and Salome, who also when he was in Galilee followed him and ministered unto him, and many other women which came up with him unto Jerusalem. And now when the even was come, because it was the preparation, that is, the day before the Sabbath, Joseph of Arimathea, an honorable counselor, which also waited for the kingdom of God, came and went in boldly unto Pilate and craved the body of Yahshua. Pilate marveled if he were already dead, and calling unto him the centurion, he asked whether he had been any while dead. And he knew it of the centurion, and he gave the body to Joseph. And he bought fine linen, and took him down, and wrapped him in the linen, and laid him in a sepulchre, which was hewn out of a rock, and rolled a stone unto the door of the sepulchre. All this happened to the king of Jerusalem. And Yahshua is the king of Jerusalem. And they slapped the king of Jerusalem, hung him from a tree, till the going down of the sun, put him in a cave, rolled a stone on him. Ain't that something? This man death and burial right there in Joshua. But they'll look at it, it ain't happened to an Israelite, so it can't be about the Messiah. You got to know when it's talking about the Son and when it ain't. Got to be able to know how to identify. Because that sounds mighty like Yahshua. And a nigga gonna sit back and say, the Romans, the Pisces. I read that thing. It's a nigga on my page always screaming, the Piso family wrote the New Testament. I read that information when I was in prison. Ain't nowhere in the world no Flavius Piso wrote that. And I read this man information. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of niggas be saying stuff and they don't think niggas be like, I'm gonna tell you, man, the Lord is good, He's faithful. All this stuff some of these niggas just come across in 2015. Man, that man had me read that stuff 2006, 2007, 2008. While I'm in the chain gang, trying to get me a joint or smoking me a rip. You know what I'm saying? Doing dips and push-ups, playing basketball, eating honey bun, working on the side of the road. With a baby blue outfit on, man. Looking like a Smurf, man. That's what they literally call them niggas in the chain gang at the right camp. They say, come on, Smurfs. Because the outfits are Carolina blue, they light blue with a white stripe on the pants. Nigga literally look like a Smurf, man. That Egyptian Book of the Dead, man, I read all that stuff, man. I ain't entertaining none of that stuff, man. God, man, Word made flesh, Hermes Trismegistus, man, all that stuff, man. I done read all that stuff, man. I ain't read all Dr. York book, man. I read a lot of Dr. York book before I even went to prison, man. Nigga was, man, the Lord made me privy to all of that stuff, man. The Lord made me privy to all. I done read Egyptian yoga, Christian yoga, man. I done read books on Islam, Sufism, nigga. I'm talking about Kabbalism, man. I read a book, man, on the written by Madame Blavatsky, man, on the Theosophy Society, man. I even ran across a book talking about the secret of all ages, man. The book was a book of witchcraft. I found that out after I started dealing with the word, because something in me wouldn't allow me to finish reading the book. It was just like, man, get rid of this. It was written by Manly P. Hall, 33rd degree Freemason. I always kept seeing it. I wanted to read it. Man, I went to read that book. I came across that book, man, when I was at Jefferson CI, man. Something in me say, man, get that thing away from you, nigga. Get that out your locker, man. Take that back to the nigga you got that from. The book got Mephistopheles in there, man. That's a known demon. You know what I'm saying? Man, y'all just don't know, man. Man, I done forgot more than most of these niggas done learned, man. That's real talk. That's how much, man, I'm a reader, man. I always been. I ain't never read for entertainment. Be honest with y'all, man, I started reading for entertainment in the 2nd grade. Real talk, I can remember that, man. I always loved to read. I stopped reading for entertainment when I was 7 years old. From that point on, I'm like, if I'm going to read something, it's going to be for my learning, it's going to be for my gain, it's going to be for my profit. If I want to be entertained, I play a video game. I want to be entertained, I watch a movie, I watch television. I don't read to be entertained. Straight up. I never had a desire to escape. Like how some people, like, we go to the movies to escape, or we go to football games to, I never wanted to escape reality. You know, you hear that a lot in America about, you know, it's good to go to the movies to get escape from reality for what? After this movie over, whatever I got to deal with still there. I just smoke a lot of weed, man. I never smoke weed to escape my problems, though. Because I already know, man, Whatever I'm dealing with, it's going to be there after the high go down. I smoke weed because I just thoroughly enjoyed to smoke marijuana. I took pleasure in it. I had homeboys who smoked to escape their problem or drank to escape their problem. I ain't never been a nigga who want to escape from reality. I'm going to look it head on, man. That's what real dudes do. If you're going to be a real man, you got to be able to deal with reality. You got to face it. Hiding from it ain't going to make it go. No, it's still going to be there. So it might as well just look it in the face and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff, that was instinctive in me, and then I had dudes in my neighborhood, man, they pushed that. You just got to deal with it, bro. Got to deal with it. Got to look it in the face, nigga. You supposed to be a man. Somebody look you in the face and tell you supposed to be a man, you ain't got no choice but to handle that. That same way my cousin Mike told me when I was 24, you need to get the chest of a grown man. I say, shoot. Thank the Lord I got one now. That make you feel bad. Somebody tell you ain't got nothing and you supposed to be a grown man and you deficient in areas. That ought to motivate you to get where you need to be at, wouldn't you say? Come on back around here to 2 Chronicles chapter 26. I get ready to let y'all go, man. I'm for real, man. I done read a lot of stuff, man. I'm talking about, man, niggas used to be tripping on me when I was in high school, man. I have all type of books, man. I ain't even reading the school books, man. I used to be in class and be reading and be 4-5 chapters ahead of the class, man. Niggas like, man, how you far ahead, man? I read this stuff on my own time. Nigga like, what? Yeah, nigga, I read the world history book on my own time. Nigga, I'm into that, nigga. Yeah, I read the American history book on my own time. Nigga, I'm into that. Yeah, I read the economic book on my own time. Nigga, I'm into that. When I went to jail one time, nigga, like, nigga, you ain't read the newspaper on the street. I'm like, nigga, you don't know me. Nigga, I read the newspaper every day. Nigga, I ain't coming to jail trying to read the newspaper, nigga. Nigga, I ain't an idiot. Nigga, just because I got a drug charge don't mean I'm a numbskull. Nigga, I do got a brain. That nigga say I can read, nigga. And that what the boy told that nigga, I can read, nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who actually knows me, man, from my youth can tell you, man. Man, I used to be on the block selling crack, reading books, man. Straight up. I got a pocket full of rocks, pistol around the corner, book in my lap. Nigga used to be tripping. This nigga selling dope, reading. I like to read, nigga. Can I read? Can I live, nigga? Because I sell dope, I can't read. I'm supposed to be dummy to me. You a drug dealer, that just automatically means you have to be a dummy? Man, I was telling my sister earlier, we finna get rid of it. I was telling my sister this yesterday. When I sold drugs, man, I looked at it as a job. Like, straight up, I used to be like, I'm clocking in, I'm on the clock. You know what I'm saying? All the time, man. When I was dating that one girl, she used to call me, man. She used to be like, you on the clock? I said, you know I'm on the clock. She said, you always on the clock. I didn't look at it, oh, it's fun, I'm selling drugs. It was a job. And just like people get up and go to their job and be like, I hate my job, I used to get up days, man, and be like, I hate my job. Straight up. I'd be riding in the Cutlass, man, smoking, man, going to catch a pop and be like, man, I hate my job. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. And I was with dudes, man, they love selling dope. They just thought it was the glamorous thing to do. They just loved it. I hated every minute of it. The only time I got any joy, man, was just being around my friends. Whether it was my childhood friends or the few dudes on Atlantic Beach who I considered to be my friends. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time I got any joy. Other than being with my sister, that goes without saying. You know, but I thank the Lord now. I love my job. Love it. Love it. Every ounce of my body, every ounce of my soul, every ounce of my heart, every ounce of my strength. I love my job. I be ready. Where we stopped at? Verse 10, 2 Chronicles 26 in that. Moreover, Uzziah had a host of fighting men that went out to war by bands according to the number of their account by the hand of Jael the scribe and Messiah the ruler, in the hand of Hananiah, one of the king's captains. Drop on down about verse 14. And Uzziah prepared for them throughout all the host shields and spears and helmets and habergeons and bows and slings to cast stones. And he made of Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men to be on the towers and upon the bulwarks to shoot arrows and great stones withal. And his name spread far abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. For he transgressed against Yah his God, and went into the temple of Yah to burn incense upon the altar of incense. And Azariah the priest went after, and with him 80 priests of Yah that were valiant men. And they withstood Uzziah the king, and said unto him, It pertained not unto thee, Uzziah, to burn incense unto Yah, but to the priests of the sons of Aaron that are consecrated to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for thou hast trespassed, neither shall it be thy honor from Yah. Now you sit back and see, when he felt and he got strong in his heart, he ended up showing he had a storm of godliness, but he ended up denying the power thereof. Because God was with him, he was helping him, and it seemed like he was so righteous and obedient, but when the right situation and circumstance came up, he showed that he was high-minded, that he was proud, that he'd rather please himself than to please God, and had that form of godliness, and it brought him down. Let's see what happened to him. Then Uzziah was wroth and had a censer in his hand to burn incense, and while he was wroth with the priest, the leprosy rose up even unto his forehead before the priest in the house of Yah from besides the incense. See, that's what y'all need to sit back and look at. In verse 18, what we look at? I'm going to tell y'all something. And this is a lot of y'all niggas' problem, and y'all need to stop it. Y'all be getting concerning yourself with things that do not pertain to thee as it comes to the ministry of this word. When it comes to anything that got to do with what I got going on, some of y'all be like, if I want your suggestion, I ask you for it. If I don't ask you for it, I don't need you to solicit it. Because you can mess around and you can be getting above your pay grade because you don't have a security clearance to be dealing with the stuff you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead serious. I'm talking about dead serious. You ain't got a security clearance for that. That means this is see, we using government speech. That's above your pay grade. See, when you get above your pay grade, now you fooling with stuff that don't pertain to you. And it's going to end up being a dishonor for you because you transgressing. Just like Uzziah, that's what they told him. That don't pertain to you. This ain't going to be for your honor now. Y'all got to keep that in mind. You get lifted up, man. Get outside your pay grade. You get too big for your britches. You'll get brought down. Shoot over here to Job 28, man. I might be able to get a little bit out of it. Let me see if I get a little bit here. I'll stop at about verse 5. You start at verse 1. I'm gonna work it down to 5. We're gonna stop. And we're gonna get out of here. So we sat back and looked at something. Uzziah loved husbandry. The father, Noah, planted a vineyard. And then you got Yah coming back planting the vineyard. And Yahshua turned around and him planted the vineyard. All these men had a love for husbandry. All these men had a love to see fruit being brought forth. And just like Yahshua told us in John chapter 12, verse 24, except the corn of wheat abide alone, fall in the ground and die, abide alone. But if it die, it bring forth much fruit. It bring forth much fruit. This man desires, we just read about that fig tree Wednesday. This man desires to plant a tree and that fruit be brought on it, that he might be able to partake in that summer fruit. That he might be able to partake in it. Y'all have been planted and y'all ain't bringing forth no fruit. That man said, I'm going to come back around here and I'm going to say, man, dung it, cut it down. He said, every forth that tree that brings forth good fruit gonna be saved, but every tree that brings forth evil fruit be cut down and cast into the fire. Then start sitting back looking at that type of stuff. Why are you not manifesting fruit? You're not manifesting fruit because you refuse to die, which means you can't have no love for husbandry. I mean, you can't have no love for God. Because God got a love for husbandry. That means God like to plant seeds and water it, and therefore watch that seed die, then watch that seed grow and come up and bear forth fruit. That means if you don't have a love to die so you can bring forth the fruits of righteousness, you don't love husbandry, which means you hate God. Wouldn't y'all say from what we looked at this evening? Because God loved husbandry. The Father loved it. The Son loves it. How you don't love it? Job 28:1. Surely there is a vein for the silver and a place for the gold where they find it. Iron is taken out of the earth, and brass is molten out of stone. He set an end to darkness. He set an end to darkness and search out all perfection, the stones of darkness and the shadow of death. The flood break out from the inhabitant. A flood break out from the inhabitant. Even waters forgotten of the foot. They are dried up. They are gone away from men. As for the earth, out of it come bread, and under it, it is turned up, as it were a fire. How in the world can bread come out the earth? Absolutely. But not just because he's the bread of life, because he resurrected from the dead. Now we're going to sit back and we're going to turn around, we're going to look at something. Iron is taken out of the earth. Brass is molten out of stone. He set an end to darkness. You've already seen how he set an end to darkness when we read, put your feet on your enemy's neck. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1. Let's see how he set an end to darkness. Death's been defeated. That's how you know he set an end to darkness. Man, this word beautiful, man. Verse 2. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2. We roll. We ain't go too long. It ain't too late. We but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty. That's what some of y'all have not done. You have not renounced the dishonesty that rests in your heart. Your niggas just slime balls. Always trying to be slick and get over. Don't nobody like no old 3/4 slick nigga. But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of God deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, committing ourselves to every man conscience in the sight of God. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, and whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. For we preach not ourselves, but Messiah Yahshua the Lord, and our servants yourselves for Yahshua's sake. For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined in our hearts to give light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Yahshua HaMashiach. I made an end of darkness, man. I made an end of it. Remember, he told you the earth was without void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. He said, let there be light. I made an end of darkness, man. Man, shoot. I made an end of darkness, man. Then you got to understand something. The whole world was dark. When Yahshua was in, that's why he said the people seen a great light. Whole world was in darkness. He said, how was the world in darkness? The sun came out every day. You stupid nigga. He made an end of it. We already been looking at it with Joshua chapter 10. Death has been extinguished, has been put under the man's foot. Satan has been defeated. I stepped on his head. Thank the Lord. He made an end of it. Well, let's see how iron was brought out of the ground. In Revelation chapter 19 and 15. Man, say iron was brought out of the earth. Brass out of stone. Because you know what? Brass symbolize rulership as well. You know, iron sent back that army. Brass like, yeah, man, I'm running this thing, man. I run this thing, man. He say, man, this stuff was brought out of the earth, man. Say, iron taken out of the earth. Brass is molten out of a stone. We look at it like this here. You should already know how brass or rulership molten out of a stone. You know what molten is. That's something that's hot. and out of his mouth go a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and tread the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of Almighty God. Philippians 2 and 7. Because he say out of the iron come up out the earth. I mean iron, that's rule right there. This man gonna come back, he gonna smite something. Everybody coming up under my foot. Why you think he sat back and told you? Put your feet on your enemy neck. Make it 5. Philippians 2 and 5. But let this mind be in you, which was also in Messiah Yahshua, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found fashioned as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore God hath exalted him and gave him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Yahshua every knee should bow, of the things in heaven, the things in earth, and the thing under the earth. I'm going to rule, man. Iron come out of the earth. Iron comes out of the earth. So when we look at, he says brass is molten out of a stone, we know that Yahshua is the chief cornerstone. And he was tried and burned through the furnace of affliction. So therefore, this is how brass, that's taking you back to that statue of Nebuchadnezzar, when he said the feet were brass. Having that rulership, having that dominion, having that military authority, that power, that came up out of that stone by that furnace of affliction. Because somebody look at it, you can't get no brass out no stone. Brass is a precious metal from the periodic table. That don't come out no rocks. Right or wrong, I know some of y'all know science. I know a little bit of it. Brass come up out of stone. Ain't brass on the periodic table. Ain't got some metal. Ain't got some compound metal. Now nobody want to talk. I know one of you niggas did well in science class. All right. I ain't took a science class in about 15 years. That's right. Lil Buffer said that's all right. I ain't took a science class in about 15 years. Lil Buffer gave a thumbs up. So when we see him searching out all perfection, the stones of darkness and the shadow of death, Yahshua came to make us perfect. We know this. And then, of course, we looked at that last thing. He said a flood break out from the inhabitant. How did the flood break out from the inhabitant? John chapter 7, verse 37. And maybe I'll look at Ezekiel 47. Maybe we can look at Revelation 22. There's so many places that we could go. He say a flood break out from the inhabitant. That means from the dweller. Because after the iron come up out of the earth, and he made an end of all darkness, and the brass has been molten out of a stone, and he searched out all perfection, he say a flood come out of the inhabitant. Huh? John 7:37, in the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahshua stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believe on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. A flood comes out of the inhabitant. But this spake he of the Spirit, which they that believe on him should receive, for the Ruach HaKodesh was not yet given, because that Yahshua was not yet glorified. So this man just sat back and told, ain't that something? Now how these niggas miss all of that? Niggas know 1,001 Hebrew verses, man. Hebrew words, nigga don't know that though. How you miss that though, man? I couldn't read you Hebrew if a nigga paid me. If a nigga put a gun in my head and say, nigga, I'ma kill you dead, nigga, read this sentence, I'm a dead nigga. Verse 4 again though. He say the flood break out from the inhabitant, even the waters forgotten of the foot, they are dried up, they are gone away from men. So you sit back and look at it. When we look at Yahshua, let's look at Luke chapter 23, son. He said they dried up and they gone away from men. Because they couldn't get that spirit, Luke 23 and 28. They couldn't get that spirit from this man until he died first. And then he would lift it up, and then they could get it. But Yahshua turning unto them, said, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming in which they shall say, blessed are the barren and the wombs that never bear, and the paps which never gave suck. Then they shall begin to say to the mountains, fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. Wow. Read it in Joshua, read it in Revelation. Here go the Lord telling it to you too. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? So that stuff had to, because when he died, he gave up the ghost. We already read that in Mark 14, right? So that means he was dried up and he had gone away from men. Until he rose from the dead. And then the flood could come out the inhabitant. We're not going to read Ezekiel 47, but you can read Ezekiel 47 where it's talking about the waters keep flooding over the sanctuary, and the water just kept coming and coming and coming. Zechariah told you about it too in the 14th chapter. Steady showing you the spirit, that flood, that gift of eternal life, which you can't get men pleasing, which you can't get being disobedient and unbelieving, which you can't get seeking honor from men and not the honor that comes from God. That's how Yahshua got it. He saw the honor that came from his Father. He said, I know him. He said, if I say I know him not, I'll be a liar like unto you. But I keep his saying. He wasn't worried about the people liking him or having some manner of image of how the people viewed him. Well, that boy Yahshua Nazareth, man, that's a good brother right there. He ain't care nothing about that. He didn't walk around boasting about himself. He didn't walk around trying to make no reputation of himself. But he knew one thing. I got to honor my Father so he can honor me. He wasn't around here running his mouth. That's what you niggas probably mean. You run your mouth. You hear something, get terrified and scared. Nigga, change your life. Change your heart. Change the spirit. Make no sense. So when we look at verse 5, excuse me, as of the earth, out of it come bread. Like the brother said, man, he the bread of life. Yahshua rose from the dead and was able to give us that bread. And guess what? Luke chapter 24, he said, out of the earth came forth bread, right? That's what it say, right? Luke 24 and 1. One of these days I might actually know what I'm doing, man. Might actually be able to earn my pay. Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, and certain others with them. And they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre, and they entered in and found not the body of the Lord Yahshua. So it looked like Yahshua dropped down to verse 6. He is not here, but is risen. Remember how he spake unto you when he was yet in Galilee, saying, the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men and be crucified, and the third day rise again. So let's look at something. Luke chapter 24, verse 28. And they drew nigh unto the village whither they went, and he made as though he would have gone further, but they constrained him, saying, abide with us. For it was towards evening, and the day is far spent, and he went in to tarry with them. And it came to pass, as he sat at meat with them, he took bread and blessed it, and brake, and gave to them. And their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said one to another, did not our heart burn within us, when he talked with us by the way, while he opened to us the scriptures? Because out of the earth came forth bread. Ain't that something? But they say we be reaching, man. They say get it in the Hebrew scripture. They say you gotta read it in Hebrew, man. It make more sense in Hebrew. Then he said, under that as he turned 5 men, the furnace of affliction. We'll deal with that more so a little later, because we got to get out of here. Matthew 5:17. I thank the Lord. I thank the Lord. Matthew 5:17. Woo! Thank the Lord for the word. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill. For truly I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men, so he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Praise ye Yah for Yahshua HaMashiach our Lord. Y'all understood all these things this evening? Thank the Lord.